voting on it. You always talk about it.
This is your spirit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yes. The video is live. Prior to our public council meeting, we are going to have a public hearing to present the CDBG, to get that right, tongue tied that earlier, stormwater grant information to the residents. Whoever would like to start first?
Yeah. Before we do that, would you please announce the executive session?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. We did have an executive session at 6 p.m. To discuss personnel and legal matters. I was going to call the regular public meeting to order after this meeting.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But we always have to announce the executive session at the next public meeting following the.
Gotcha. Okay. Very good.
That's fine. All right.
Thank you. Thanks for keeping me honest. Please.
All right. As you all know, I'm Lucas Enzer with Holly's office. Nicole here from Planning Commission. The borough received funds. I think it was for these two projects. It was I think $385,000. Restucio Construction was the low bidder at $200,000. They've already been awarded. Everything's getting everything together for getting all the materials and everything together to start the project. So it's on George Street between 6B and 9 on the west side. If we're adding 5 inlets and I think it's 500 feet of storm piping along the state right away. And then there's some sections of curb, sidewalk, ADA ramps, and street mill and overlay. So that's gonna start up here, I think next week. They have to do pothole testing to verify some utility depths, just to make sure there's no interference. And then they'll get their catch basins precast. And then once they have everything, they'll be good to go in probably about 2 months here. And then I think they'll wrap up sometime in September. They're thinking 60 days of work. So that's going to help mitigate any flooding in that flatter area along George Street and kind of just keep things safe and get all that runoff under the road.
It gets a lot of runoff from 9.
Yeah, there's a huge drainage area up from 9. Anybody have questions on the project or funding? We can answer.
The third potential grant still pending. Have they closed the door on that yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
We should have an answer next week, actually.
Okay, beautiful. I'd like to hear that. We're willing to spend it if we're granted.
Yeah. We do have another application for your plan coming up in the year, so keep that in mind if that shortlist item doesn't get approved this year.
So there's going to be 5
Yes.
drainage systems.
Yeah, there's 5 catch basins, inlets, 2 down at 6B, 1 up at 9th, and then 2 in between. There's a driveway. I think it's one of the service, like travel home. I can't remember what it is.
Right.
Right for
I
that
know
driveway,
exactly what
and
you're
then
talking about.
probably about halfway down to that.
So it's right before 8th Avenue.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? I've also lobbied the state to pay for it, and they did not respond. So, they don't have to for boroughs, even though it's state road. So here we are. Dave, do you have anything for this?
Yeah, so I just want to thank Lucas and Jason for their help and coordination on this. I want to thank Cody, of course, for his involvement, and then, of course, Wanda and Nicole and their crew over at YCPC. It's been experience here on top of the other projects we've done together. And hopefully we have some more coming. So thanks everybody for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, anything else? No? All right, well, I guess we can call that public hearing to a close unless there's any objections. Seeing and hearing none. All right, beautiful. Well, I am going to call to order North River Borough Council meeting. It is April 14, it is 6:43, let's call it. Please turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate. Public comment is limited to 5 minutes per person to facilitate others and business needs. And then we can do a moment of silence in the pledge of allegiance. Ooh, it's great.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So let's thank everybody for coming today.
You might want to wait.
Yeah.
You might want to wait.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
All right. Can we do the roll call, please?
Okay. Are you okay if I just say person's names? I don't have to say everybody's last name.
You do initials, I guess, if you want to. If you'd like to assign nicknames, I guess you can do that as well.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Seth.
Here.
Vicky. Here. Tracy.
Here.
Donnie.
Here.
Jerry.
Here.
Nancy.
Here.
Dave's on the phone. I'm here. Walt Tilly and Lisa. Okay, that's it.
Good. All right. Thank you very much. All right. We announced the executive session that was at 6 p.m. Earlier today to discuss personnel and legal matters facing the borough. So we can move on to public comment. Should there be any? One agenda item. Seeing none. All right, let's move along then. You have your minutes, if you would briefly look over those and see if there's any adjustments. We move to approve like this. Do we have a second?
Tracy.
Any other comments, questions, concerns, alterations? You need a minute, Jerry? No. Okay, all right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, so moved. Mayor.
Okay, I attended the March 17th Northern New York County Regional Commissioners meeting. Promotions and eligibilities were as follows. Lieutenant, the eligibility list valid until August 1st, 2027. They recommended the promotion of Sergeant Erica Eicher to probationary lieutenant effective April 1st, 2026. Sergeant's eligibility list valid until December 31st, 2026. Recommend the promotion of Corporal Stephen Lebo and Corporal Matt Sikowi to probationary sergeant activity, or effectively, April 1st, 2026. Corporal's eligibility list valid until December 31st, 2026. recommended the promotion of Officer Jack Govern, Officer Fisher Stolfus, and Officer Anthony Galball to probationary corporal effective April 1st, 2026. Officer Tony Goodwin has reached the end of his probationary period. Officer Goodwin is doing an excellent job and was recommended for permanent status. Detective J.C. Asper will be retiring this summer and will need a replacement for that. A new hiring cycle is in preparation for the July Police Academy. We have 64 applicants so far, with only one being eliminated by our tattoo policy. Currently, there is only one opening, and we will need 2 new officers for the onboarding of Spring Grove Borough in 2027. Per the chief's report for February 2026, Patrol and CID were very busy. There were 206 criminal defendants arrested, which is 65 more than February of 2025. Of the 206 arrests, 39 were felonies, 109 were misdemeanors, and 58 were summons. North York had 172 incidents in February of 2026, up by 61. Cumulative for the year was 346 incidences, up by 27 from previous year. Some of the police activity in the borough for the month of February 2026 were as follows. 3 unknown suspects entered the victim's home, unlocked the door, and stole his Cash App credit card. On the 3rd simple assault, 1400 block North George Street, a 36-year-old male was arrested for assaulting his 69-year-old housemate. The victim suspected that the assailant had a mental issue. On the 17th, terroristic threats, 1st block of Dewey, female is being threatened by teenage females. The investigation still continues. On the 18th, burglary, 700 block of North George Street, a 43-year-old male and a 34-year-old female were arrested for breaking into a home and causing extensive damage to the interior. On the 28th, there was a simple assault, 400 block of North George Street. A 55-year-old female was assaulted by her boyfriend's children. A 42-year-old male and a 41-year-old female were arrested for strangulation. With the weather getting nice, please be mindful. Children are now out riding bicycles and playing outdoors more. Let's make this a safe place for everyone in the community. Enjoy the weather and stay safe.
Thank you, Mayor. Lieutenant Anderson.
With that, it's getting warm, so lock up your vehicles, put a chain on your bicycles. We've already arrested people for breaking into vehicles on the north side of 30 in Manchester Township. So guarantee it's warm out this weekend. People will be walking around pulling on door handles. Good one for North York Borough. We did get a DNA hit from a theft from somebody tried to steal a vehicle 2 years ago, and we took DNA from it and finally got it back. And that person is in jail currently, the suspect, for murder. So it wasn't hard to track him down. So, it's just not teenagers getting in your cars. This guy doesn't we're facing murder charges, so pretty good one. And I know it's not North York Borough, but again, with it being summer, with the helmets on, the kids riding the bicycles, we had a poor 13-year-old kid hit up in Manchester Township. He failed to stop for a stop sign, and the person driving wasn't as far as skating or anything, hit the poor kid on the bicycle, and hopefully he lives, but it's
Seen a lot of that.
Yeah.
The e-bikes and e-scooters, they're not following traffic laws.
Yeah,
For red lights.
And I think this kid was just on a simple bicycle, but yeah, very dangerous. Very dangerous. Please wear a helmet.
Regular bicycles, they're running stop signs left and right.
Yeah. Yeah. And they have no idea what it does to the person that hits a kid.
Right. No.
As you get older, you're like, oh man, I never want that to happen. So be careful. That's, the DNA, that's pretty good stuff,
Yeah,
pretty good
yeah.
stuff. That's all I have. Oh, and it won't matter, to you, but Erica Eicher, the lady who got promoted to lieutenant, she's taking my old job in charge of patrol, and I'm getting moved over towards, the detective unit.
Suggestions from you.
Okay,
North Duke Street by far is the most populated street in the borough for children.
sure.
And with the days getting longer, they're playing later. They're out in the street, they're riding their bikes all over the place. They're not stopping for stop sign like everybody said. But the cars aren't paying attention either. 2 doors up from me, the neighbor, their dog was hit by a car and killed. That could just as easily have been a child.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm gonna fight this other battle later in the meeting, but initially we put, I'm reluctant to call them speed bumps, because they're not, they're maybe speed suggestions, but it's certainly not a bump. And that doesn't slow anybody down. They go up and down Duke Street like it's a racetrack. So my question is, what can we do? I mean, if I stand out in the street and photograph people's license numbers, can you go after them? What can we do to send a message that you're gonna hit a kid here sooner or later? You're already killing pets. It's just a matter of time before a kid steps out from between two cars. And they do, they play their ball, they're kicking soccer balls, they're basketballs, and the ball gets away from them and rolls out in the street. I almost hit a kid the other day myself, but I go like 5 miles. But it's scary and it's gonna happen, and I wanna try to see it done.
Yeah.
So any suggestions would be helpful.
So if I could speak for that quick.
Sure.
Yeah, so, Jerry, I agree with you 100%. What they technically are, that did the plans, when I joined the team, and I know that, places, that have used those, in other municipalities, you hear some good for and against, and you maintain speed over top of that, absolutely you can. And for people who ride them every day, they know exactly how fast they can go over them. So yeah, I think at first they were more of a deterrent. I think they've become less so at this point. And I would be open. Thank you.
I'm gonna ask Kathy to talk with Kathy Bruder at, our firm. Kathy Bruder, is a specialist in finding grants. And what I'd like to do is see, we face this same issue in Jacobus Borough. And so what we've done is we did some research and found that if you get an engineering study done that would warrant changes, that you can introduce things called traffic calming devices. And so what I would like to do is maybe have Kathy Bruder look real quick to see whether there's a grant that the borough could be eligible for, that could allow an engineering study to be done by a traffic engineer. For the purpose of.
I will just interject here. I already know about those grants. I'm aware of those. What I'm asking for is a suggestion from the police department as to whether we should take a different direction from the speed tables. And I have already been certified in smart streets. I am familiar with reducing the width of the street at certain corners, which also helps to reduce speeds, hopefully. My concern isn't where we're going to pay for it, or how I'm going to pay for it. I'm concerned what does the police department think would be our best avenue towards a suggestion to either remove the tables, put in real speed bumps. Like, what are you seeing that other municipalities are using to curb these speeders? Thank you.
I'll finish listening to Walt.
What what we found is that, traffic, in order to make any changes on the streets in a borough, it has to be, based on an engineering study that warrants, that demonstrates that the change is warranted. And so, my thought was, but maybe Dr. Bolton is already familiar with all of this stuff, but if we could get an engineering study to look at it to see whether there are other actions that would be justified, and then they can be installed. We did research on this to see whether you can install it without an engineering study, and the answer to that question, unfortunately, was no.
You can do it, but you're not shielded from liability.
Right. Well, for example, if you put up a stop sign, it's not enforceable unless there's an engineering study that backs it up. And so, our police couldn't do anything, and then that creates a danger because someone might think, well, they'll stop at the stop sign, and someone's going to say, well, I know it's not enforceable, I'm going to run it. That type of thing. Now, I'm not saying that's the case with Duke Street. I don't know what the situation is on Duke Street, but what I'm saying is that sometimes if the borough is interested, we could look to see if there might be a grant or something to be eligible for. It may be though that because Dr. Bolton is so steeped in this, that he may already be able to provide the guidance that we need on that. But my point being, if a traffic study might be helpful to help with that speeding problem, perhaps that could be a path forward to install other traffic calming devices other than the ones that are there.
Could it be possible to do a checkpoint in the morning, pick some random morning, and in the evening around the time that people are from 6th Avenue to 5th, up to.
Okay.
And if you had a car at 7th and a car at 5th, I'd be willing to bet a week's pay, which I don't make much, just to give you a heads up. But you're going to get a bunch of people flying up through there, and they wouldn't expect it because it's never been done.
Okay, I was going to suggest, how about we start out with a covert speed study?
Right, like you did on Albright or.
Do it all the time.
Right, yeah.
Yep, just hang that black box and go, do you actually have a speeding problem? Or do you have a parental problem of no one telling these kids, A, don't play ball, that people's reaction time, speed limit is 25.
Yeah.
That's fast. Now, like that's tight quarters, and stuff like that. As far as addressing the speed bumps, Woodland View Drive in Manchester Township, that woman complained about speeding for 38 years. And before she got her speed bumps, we don't get speeding complaints from her in that section. Now, as soon as they get past those speed bumps, they light it up down through there, but those speed bumps, yeah, everybody hates them.
Well, it's kind of like that on Pennsylvania Avenue. That bump over there.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll throw you 2-3 feet up in the air if you hit it.
To where I would think that probably the degree, the level of speed bump, you probably need that engineer study to say, no, you can't put these speed bumps in because they're too aggressive because it's an urban district or something.
There's stormwater consideration. There's a litany of things.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is, I've looked at some of these studies before, so I am familiar with the process. With the speed bumps, yes, there are certain places you can place it. It's got to be so far off the intersection. They've got to be so wide, so high. So yeah, I mean that's probably a good starting point. And if Lieutenant Anderson is saying that it has worked in another area, then I would at least like some authorization to look into this a little bit more. There's plenty of public safety grants out there. I mean, they're out there all the time. It's not going to take that much to put a speed bump in. We're not repaving a road. We're putting it. So we can absolutely get that done. We can go through liquid fuels, and we can absolutely go back and get a reimbursement grant for that. So my problem is I don't want to have to wait a year cycle for a grant to come up and implement a solution.
Well, yeah, I think the last one we installed on the 5th was $5,000 to $7,000. So.
Right.
We're not
I was
talking
thinking
about.
around 5, yes. So that's not a big, heavy lift for us to get it done, get it implemented. So if council will agree, I will work with the engineers and we will get the information we need on those areas, and then I will look into it.
And I guess to follow up, let's say that the speed study says, yeah, there's, they're doing 38 to 42 at a rate enough. When we do, you see all those tickets and stops at Albright Avenue, that typically that guy's on an aggressive driving detail to where we actually get paid by the federal government because they know police departments don't have enough to dedicate to there on North Duke Street to where, okay, let's get creative, paint 2 lines on North Duke Street and actually sit on somebody's front porch with a stopwatch and time people and then have your chase car down at Fifth Avenue or 7th Avenue, wherever, or put one at each so we aren't flying up Duke Street. It's possible.
This is way out of the box, but I'm just brainstorming. Can we paint the street? Because I've seen guys that they can paint something to look like it's higher than it is, or has more dimension than it does. I've seen them paint the sidewalk to look like there's a hole in it, and people will step around.
I would say, I would defer to the engineer. My initial knee jerk would be like, no, because that considers, that would be like creating a trap or a distraction or a potential dangerous or hazardous condition, like tricking people.
But Jerry, if you want a hole in it, just that PennDOT.
Yeah.
We've worked really hard to get rid of those holes. I really don't want any pictures of them.
Just paint bright yellow.
Can
Right,
I,
no, I see what you're saying, yes.
can I request
But I think once, here it is again, like the speed tables, once they go through a couple times, then that's it, they know it's fine, and they just go.
Yeah.
And I love the suggestion from the lieutenant about, clocking them, but what I would also caution is the perception. Somebody's at a stop sign and they go and accelerate full force, it's gonna seem like they're speeding in a short distance. So, yeah, I mean, we expect to find some speeding, we might find out they're only getting up to 30, 35.
It's 25.
I mean, there is a perceptual thing when you're looking at a car move.
Yeah.
So that's why I think having the data is important. I'm a data-driven guy.
Well, maybe the speed limit needs to be lower then in a residential high children density area.
Okay, so you your ordinance, you spend the money for everything, and then you're not going to enforce it. It doesn't matter anyway. If they're doing it 25, they're going to do it 15 until they get caught.
Maybe.
I don't think they're going to voluntarily get caught if they're not now.
Well, I'll go with the VASCAR test, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
The
it
lights.
just hangs, it works, it's radar.
And then, yeah, okay. And then yeah,
It's just-
I mean, I'm open to the speed limit change too, but I mean, let's diagnose the problem before we, before we make any decisions.
Okay, I'm requesting that more patrol is done on Duke Street. I know because I have ring cameras and I check them every morning, every afternoon, and every evening. I see 1 or 2, not many, go down through. Now, I know how often we're up on George Street running them. And I understand why, because you're trying to catch speeders up there. But we need more cars going down Duke Street as well. Because I think if they see that the police are there, they're gonna be a little bit more like, oh, where are they at now? Just my thoughts. Right.
So Seth, is council authorizing me to work with the police department on that data and the engineer to come up with some kind of options?
I think the consensus is yes, unless anybody has any.
I'll make that motion.
I just want to make sure.
Well, we can't vote on it,
Can't
right,
vote on
but
the motion.
No, it's not a critical thing. I'm
Right.
just making.
Right, it-
I see no dissent.
Very good. Then I will
that does them. Just finished up work today, so it'll be out Friday or Saturday. Leave it up for a week.
Well, the biggest
Weekend,
advantage,
weekday.
yeah, people get nervous about what they don't know. So if they see a box and it's got the Northern Regional logo.
No, it's just gonna be a little black.
Just a little box. Well, he's right. When you see a police car, or Nancy's right, when you see a police car go up the street, everybody slows down, everybody starts making sure that
When you have your ladies on and it says, police noted.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good. When is Erica coming? And will she be coming to meetings then? I'm sorry.
Nope.
We're stuck with you.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you-
No, because somebody said, I'm like, no.
Okay.
I got my meetings, I know who everybody is, they know what to expect.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Nancy, the answer is you don't get the first string of stuff.
What can I say?
That's what they said about Brady once.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Chief.
We had 12 calls in the borough last month. One dryer fire, which was out on our arrival. So, other than that, moving along.
I got a question. Down on 10th and Duke at the tax building, where York Excavating was doing all that stuff, the out of service thing is still on the hydrant. And I looked on Spin and it says there's no out of service hydrant. So do we know, is that really not out of service?
So when it comes to hydrants, that's all York Water Company.
Oh, okay. So we have to get them to try to get that off of there?
If it's in service, I mean, it might still be out of service, I don't know.
Okay.
So all we can do is, send an email or to me,
Okay.
and I'll get Public Works to look into it, because I'm pretty certain we rent those.
Okay.
We pay a monthly rental for them, so if there's any type of service thing or anything, just forward it over to me.
Okay, I'll do that.
Get it taken care of.
Good enough, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and again, David, it's right at the intersection of 11th and Duke.
In front of the tax
And-
office.
Yeah. in front of the
I'll
light.
send it in there.
Are the EMT calls listed in your log?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
I imagine that's the bulk of the 12 calls, is medical.
Yeah, so if you look at the March 2026 monthly report, they're all listed. Yeah, you're gonna see listed as medical. Some of them might come across as that, no emergency lift assist type calls, but yes, they are listed in.
You get that electronically, so it's in your email.
Okay.
We haven't been bringing them. The cover page looks really nice, but it does blow through ink like crazy. Yeah, so that's why it's not in your packet. But I'm sure Dave can get you an email, or Dave can get you something.
Are we talking about the fire report?
Yeah.
It's already in your emails.
Yes.
I said, if you want me to just cut the cover, I can do that.
I mean, do you guys want it printed out? I mean, that's why we stopped, was that it was the cover page was eating. I mean, if you're okay with it in your email, I mean, it's only 12 calls, so it's not a super in-depth report.
I don't think
Yeah, I usually send the police report and fire reports when I receive
Make a
them.
friend.
Okay.
I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
I do have.
Would you want it physically printed out for you?
No.
Okay.
I was just, once I know how to get into my email, I can print it myself.
Okay, beautiful.
My question is, let's say we had a fire down
Once I know
there,
what my
and the
address is.
fire department came and they saw that thing on there, would they not try to use that hydrant?
Correct. We would go to a different hydrant. Because we can't trust it.
Yeah, we'll look
When
into
you
it.
talk about how they're doing construction in the area, that's typical, that if they are doing anything underground, they shut off hydrants in the area.
Right,
They replaced one.
yeah, but it's been like, they've been done for over a week and that's still on. That was just my question, like what happens to the fire drill,
Well, I mean, so we have multiple apps that we see where all the hydrants are in the area. So
Yeah, you're.
So they are currently under a permit through our code department, so,
Right.
but I'll follow up through code enforcement first.
A lot of them, when they replace water lines before they can open it back up, they have to do water testing and
Yeah, they have to do testing.
flush the
inspection.
lines.
Okay.
So they finished paving, so work is done, I still know they're. Excellent, thank you, Chief, appreciate it. EMC is still a vacant position, so if anybody has any recommendations, that would be great. Seeing none, we'll move on to staff reports. Dr. Ball.
Thank you, sir. First, I want to thank regionals for their invitation to their touch truck event coming up over at the Borough Center. We are going to have Public Works are going over and take the dump truck and the street sweeper. The regionals were particularly interested in getting a dump truck. They said they really could find one of those. So we will have both of those vehicles out for the kids to get up and check it out and look at, along with fire and police apparatus and whatever else might be there. So thank you for inviting us to that.
Give a date for that.
I don't right here off the top. I do apologize.
That's okay.
I apologize. So the first item, actually the only action item that I have for you this evening, YEC gave us a proposal back at the end of 2024. The council authorized the cost for the rec park basketball fence and for taking care of some of the swale there, doing some backfill because that's creating the problem where our court is falling in and the bench on that far side near the rail is falling in. We have had it repaired once before. YEC repaired it. They are going to put costs towards that repair. But council did authorize the other work, including the basketball fence. We started to move forward now because we just finally got cleared of our NOT letter, which was to close out the grant process for the park. The thing that was holding us up was that the turf wasn't growing in enough. So it took us a while, but we finally got confirmation from the contractor of what type of fill they use, and we determined that type of fill is not going to just give us a lush lawn, and irrigating it is not an option for a borough of our size. So they went ahead and signed it all for us. We did close that out at the end of the entire month. And so all of our letters are good, we're done. And now we can put the fence in because we couldn't do any improvements until all of that's closed out. When we went back to YEC, there was a difference of $386 in the materials. Their contribution remained the same. Their labor remained the same. It was just some of the fencing went up in cost a little bit. So it is an extra $386. It is under the amount I'm allowed to authorize, but since council had already authorized an amount over the amount of 12.8, which I am allowed to use, then I felt it pertinent to come back and ask to use the extra $386.
So moved.
I've got a motion by Jerry to approve, got a second by Donnie. Anybody have any other questions or comments for Dave or in general? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, so moved.
Thank you.
Let's get a fence.
Some updates, the RFP for the public works roof repairs or replacement have been advertised. I have already started getting bids back. So I can't tell you who because I can't look at them yet. They will be open just prior to the meeting, before our next meeting in May. And then council will have the option to pick one of those or not accept any of the bids. And we did ask for emergency repairs, which are just enough to stop the leaking, and we will show them where the leaks are, and then for a total replacement. whether the council has some options and knows the scope of the issues. We are currently still working on the RFPs for solid waste collection. That's for 27 to 29. You have authorized me to move forward with that. So I am hoping to have something in the public's hands before the next meeting, and then we would consider those at the June meeting. Zoning, I just wanted to give an update. Leslie's been doing a fantastic job for us. I sent out the cost analysis for everybody since the last meeting, since there were questions about her value. And I will tell you, I would have her if she wasn't valuable. And she had 14 permanent inspections last month. And that's for inspections for people that came in and got building permits. She had a UCC permit, one certificate of occupancy was issued, and she has been daily going out and doing rental inspections. And when I say daily, she works 3 days a week. So every day she's in, she has inspections. He has been caught up. There are some issues there, and I'll touch those in a moment. Public Works, mowing season has commenced, everybody. Please make sure everything's trimmed up nice, so Leslie doesn't come visit yet. And our guys are making sure that the park and everything else is taken care of. Street sweeping schedule, Bob and I have spoken. We are hoping to have that started first week of May. Basically, the plan is we will go out on Friday, we'll set up some cones that says, please don't park here Monday. Give everybody notice. If they come in, we'll let them park in the borough facilities if they need somewhere to go. And then Monday, Bob will go through those areas, and they'll be nice and clean, hopefully curb to curb. And then we'll repeat that on a cycle through different quadrants in the borough over the summer. So it won't just be this week and that week; it'll be constant. And that effort, yes, it's a lot of effort, but that effort goes towards our permit for the NS4. So that shows that we are doing our work to keep sediments out of the bay, and that's why we don't have to pay stormwater fees. So thank you, Bob, for keeping us from paying fees. Activity, Public Works, the electric trimmers that we had, that basically the fire department had, that we inherited, are pretty much dead. They're electric trimmers, they can only be refurbished for so long. I know I've been keeping them on life status for the last 2 years, but it's time to get rid of them. They basically have no value. At this point, we're just going to throw them away. That being said, I don't feel we need a resolution to get rid of them. If council's okay, we're going to discard those. And I have authorized Cody to purchase 2 new commercial size trimmers. We are getting 4 years of warranty with them and a bag blower with that. Through co-stores, it cost us only $1,400. So that'll definitely keep us for many, many years. So is council okay with me getting rid of the old ones?
Yeah, I see that. Notice it.
They say no scrap value whatsoever. Okay, so and Cody did check 3 different places, and we don't have to do that unless something costs $12,800 or more. But I still told him, I said, let's do diligence, let's shop around. So this was the cheapest price on those. We are working with a couple of local churches that are having some community events in the borough. We've got a rental over in our rec building already. So yay for an occupancy permit there. And so there'll be some community events. There have been some requests for street emergency services need to be contacted. So there is a process for it. And usually we supply the cones for those events when they're requested through the borough. So that we go give it to them and then we pick them back up. So that is a cost-free service we have for the borough residents as well. What else do I have? So activity, some personal activity outside of working with staff. Our audit came back excellent. So kudos to Rox. We were only $1,100 over general fund budget for the year. And yes, it kind of sticks in my crawl that we were over 1,100, but it's so infinitesimal. And I'm just happy that we were that close last year with some of the challenges that we had. We are continuing to work with Mr. Daldrick on his concerns that he has made public. What I want council to understand is that Attorney Silcox has been an absolute pleasure to work with in that situation. We are hoping to have a resolution very soon. And we want to thank Mr. Daldrick also for his cooperation. And I think, you know, in the end, cooler heads prevail. And we're very thankful that now we seem to have a set of cooler heads there. So thank you, Kathy, for your help there.
Thank you. Thank you for working with me.
501 properties, what I will say there is that there have not been rental inspections in the last 3 years. It is a serious non-compliance. We are having some other issues with enforcement there. So I don't want to get into the details, but what I want to make public is that Leslie and I have tried everything we can to get voluntary compliance. But 3 years worth of fees and not being inspected for 3 years. Yeah. The borough has some things we can do that I don't want to do. And before everybody starts talking about it, getting crazy, David is doing everything he can to make sure that the welfare of the residents is intact.
Where is 501?
By the park.
Parkview.
Gotcha.
My biggest concern in all of this is the safety and the welfare of the residents in those buildings, and to make sure that their lives are not disrupted as a result of anything that is occurring. That's all I can really say there about that. Great coordination, of course. I want to thank Lucas, Jason, you know, the county, so amazing. So amazing. When people get together and coordinate and work for somebody else, right? Without self-interest, when you lose the ego and you do it because it's the right thing to do and it's going to make somebody's life better, that's what's happening right now. So I greatly appreciate everybody involved in those efforts. PennDOT 83, of course, we've got, I think, everything we need signed there at this point. Thanks to Seth for, you know, being in the loop on that with me, and Jason and Lucas again in meetings, Walt for his involvement with that as well. Great team effort, and I think the end result definitely pans out for the borough. So again, making everybody's life better. That's what we're here to do. I believe that is everything I have, unless anybody has any questions for me.
Seeing none, Dave?
appreciate it. May I be excused?
I'm okay with that. Anybody need it involvement later on? All right. I'll call you if anything comes up.
Especially when it comes up, I'll keep my phone on me, absolutely.
All righty.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good night.
And thank you for allowing me the time for my daughter.
Yeah. Hey, not a problem. Anytime.
That is greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. Have a good night. All right. Beautiful. That was the manager's report. We can move on to the solicitor's report.
Oh, I'll take it because I have nothing to say, so, what the heck, I'm good at that.
Perfectly executed. Very good. Good job. I appreciate it.
We reviewed everything in the executive session, and the reason was because they either required legal consultation because of attorney-client privilege, or because there was litigation that we were discussing that also required attorney-client privilege. Nothing beyond what we already discussed.
Thank you.
Everything he said.
Ditto.
Engineer report, we heard from Lucas earlier in the public hearing, so we can move to the treasurer's report.
Which everything's in your packet. Yes, I don't know what else to say except for there.
Looks like you did.
I think it's Jeremy in
It's more.
here. It's very,
I just thought it was the council's way of making sure that the meeting.
there you go.
It's a little warm.
Thank you, council.
Anybody have, I certainly can give you some more time, but does anyone have any questions for Roxanne on any of the expenditures either?
Is Pennsylvania American Water, is that the same thing as what we call sewer?
That is the treatment plant.
Treatment.
Right, so PA American Water purchased, the treatment plant from the city a number of years ago.
Had we always, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, we have to, we pay them for the treatment of our wastewater. So we own our transportation lines, then we have to pay
Okay.
to have to, use their facility to treat our water. But yeah, before PA American Water, we paid the city.
Those kind of numbers?
Oh, yeah. That's quarterly. Right? That's quarterly?
$104,000?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. There's big bucks in sewage treatment wastewater. That's what it is. I handled sewer backup claims at work. I'd see some bills from mitigation companies, and I go, "Wow, this is crazy. It's too much money." And they go, "Find someone else to do it."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so Roxanne is looking for a motion then, if everyone's okay with that, to accept the treasurer's report and authorize bills as of today. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Anyone else before we vote? See nobody? Alright, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Alright, so move. Any correspondence?
No.
Okay, I did receive correspondence. I got a flyer and I was asked to advise at this meeting. I forgot the flyer at home, so I have it. But Cornerstone Ministries is doing a community flea market. And they're, the church is at 1154 North George Street. The flea market is Saturday, April 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I'll just read their what to expect. We will be hosting a flea market style yard sale in our parking lot this spring, April 25th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Bring any old household items, clothes, books, toys, etc. You no longer need to sell. We will have tables set up for everyone who signs up, so all you need to do is show up with your belongings. Take the chance to declutter your home. Everyone and anyone is welcome. Just sign up using our sign up sheet, And there's a link on their website to sign up there, or I'm assuming you could probably call them and sign up as well. But it's basically limited to sign up as soon as possible. So essentially, they'll provide the space and the location for you to sell your belongings, and all you gotta do is sign up.
Is there a church? Not for each person to go there, but is the church paying?
They got a permit
Okay.
from
Okay.
yes, they have a permit for
Is that the Vietnamese church?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. Okay. All right, that's all I have for correspondence. Committees and organizations, Tracy, you're gonna give me the record.
Park and Rec had a, Easter egg hunt for the kids. We had 13 kids sign up. 13 kids found over 300 Easter eggs.
Wow.
They had
Yes.
a great time.
Very short order too.
Yeah, it was a busy evening.
It was a busy evening. It took us longer to fill the eggs and what they found.
Yeah, they about 15 minutes.
Yeah. But they also had a lot of fun with, they had a nice little Easter basket that we gave each child. We did make up 25 baskets in case somebody showed up who did not sign up, but we didn't have any of that. So we do have some stuff for our next event, which is May 30th. We're gonna have a kickoff to summer event on May 30th from 4 to 7 down at the park. We're gonna have some food, some games, Read as Ice. We'll have the kids' water balloons, stuff like that. And we are getting music, and we will be, we're gonna be doing flyers. So hopefully we'll get flyers to everybody's house before, sometime between we're gonna be putting flyers out the week of May 4th through the 9th. So it's gonna be through that whole week that we'll be getting flyers out to the houses about the picnic and kickoff to that. We are also having July 4th celebration from 7:30 to 9:30. More will come once, you know, we get things kicked off there, but we will also have music for that and some food and stuff. So hopefully, the kids in the borough, parents, get your kids out. The kids that come to these things have a great time. I just wish more would come out and utilize the fun that we have with the kids. Thanks.
Thank you, Tracy. I don't think we have anything else. We covered sanitation, streets and sidewalks for the public hearing, personnel. Does anyone have anything for committees?
Community impact is organizing.
Good. All right. No old business, no new business that I can see, so we will move to public comment on anything that you want. If anybody has anything that they want to talk about.
Just a couple of suggestions.
Fire away.
I know one thing that we, as far as getting the borough involved in the activities and that the rec committee has, I know they have the sign there at the boys' home, they have one down at the park. Is it possible for the borough, so I know they're slightly expensive, but I had looked at them, I think you can get them for like $2,000 to $3,000, but a programmable digital sign that would be solar. You know, we wouldn't have to run gasoline engine, you know, that somebody would be worried about or anything, but put that on George Street and be able to just type in whatever's going on. I think it would make it more legible for people coming through the borough, you know, it would be, you know, something, I think it's something the borough should look into.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at that price, that's something that the rec committee itself would bear for a minute. But I prefer the borough should buy it outright.
Right.
Yeah.
And the second, now this has nothing to do with rec or anything like that. And I realize Leslie is extremely busy, you know, with inspections and different things like that, and that she only works 3 days a week. But when does she have time to look at the other ordinances that the borough has that people are violating? Is it possible for her to deputize someone or for the council?
Are you sure on behalf of Mike Warner?
No, definitely not mine. But, you know, just like, now, they wouldn't be authorized to do, you know, any citations or anything, but go around the borough on the weekend, and if they see a violation, write it down, write the address down, and make Leslie aware of it, that way she can go
Yeah, we
check.
have complaint forms. You can fill out online or physically. I mean, anyone can do that.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's literally what you're describing Mike Warner. That's why I laugh, because he does do that. Or at least he used to, yes.
Okay.
Or he used to come in with a stack like this. And then he would complain like, well, sure, you cited that property, but they still didn't cut the grass.
They still didn't do
Well,
anything.
we have a process to follow. We have to find them, have to give them an opportunity, then we have to find them again. Yeah.
So after they're done,
Yeah.
like getting tired of paying $200
Yeah,
fine, we go finally do something.
Yeah, anybody can make a complaint to the zoning office that, hey, you know, my neighbor's bushes are, you know, on my property or
We
whatever,
get this calls
all the time.
all
Yeah.
the time.
Here's the complaint. All right,
Okay.
between fourth and, somewhere between fourth and second, I'm not exactly sure.
Sure, right.
There
that
is a
corridor, I know
car
what you're talking
sitting with no tires on it, on jacks.
about. Oh, yeah, that's totally.
And that's
against
a no-no.
several ordinances.
That's right, and
Yeah.
that needs to be looked into.
You say fourth and second.
Yeah, in the alley there. Yeah, on Albright.
Albright's the alley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she does act as a driveway.
It is on their property, but it's not fenced.
Well, yeah, as long as she can see from a common public space.
I don't know.
As long as she can see it, it's not a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So, we have gotten complaints like, well, I can peek into my, you know, my neighbor's backyard, which is fenced, or pull up on their fence, can't do any of that business. But
Is that Roger's property, Albright?
It's very
No,
close.
No, this is.
It's down further,
It's
on the right-hand side.
it's in that area, yeah, you're in the right spot, because she said between Fourth and Second, so that is
I'm
down
not
the
exactly
property,
sure what,
is in that area.
I can see it.
I think it's,
Everybody there, but to sit there on that stand.
yeah, it's on
It's
Jackson.
unsafe, it's unsafe.
And there, like I said, there is no fence there, so it needs to be checked into,
Yeah.
because all that needs to do is one come down.
She's in.
Thank you.
I have a couple of, comments.
Oh, hold on, oh, no, you're done, okay, all right, go ahead, yeah.
Okay, on Latimer, the speed limit sign is knocked down. I don't know how, but it is down. Also on Latimer, there are several vehicles that have expired inspection and or emissions or they don't have them on the cars. I think it's 4.
Vicki, I think they need, in order for the police to do anything for them, they've gotta have registration out and the inspection sticker.
Well, I think our ordinance lets us.
No, it does.
Just inspection, so
Okay.
if you could
Have to be
advise,
inspected.
have her, hit Latimer Street.
I got it right.
Yes.
Got it.
You're doing the street sign, you said it's not down.
Yes.
On which side of it?
It's, if you're coming down Latimer, it's on the right hand side.
Heading southbound.
Yes.
On the,
Right hand side.
on the, west.
Mhm.
And it's still there. But
Yes.
it's just not, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's bent. It's literally bent.
Yeah, people do it sometimes. I've been accused of trying to steal. Yeah. I was like, I'm returning it. Good, anybody else? Jerry, did you have anything else? I know you said you were gonna fight about something.
It's not a fight anymore, but,
Okay.
I would like to have something mentioned for the minutes under new business that we discussed, the street humps. The street.
So on these minutes, or the minutes for this meeting, you want,
Something mentioned that we
so,
discussed.
okay, and then are you asking for it to be like a recurring on the agendas going forward?
Yes.
Well, under new or old business?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It would be under old business, and probably the best term for it would be traffic calming device. Or discussion, traffic calming discussion. That calming,
CALM.
CALMING, calming, calming things down.
That's the,
Calm down.
That's
correctly
the
correct term for.
Yeah, that's the official traffic engineering term for trying to get people to drive reasonably.
Yes, I'll pull that. Do you want to do that tonight?
I think it should be.
So I think we'll have to make a motion for that. What's the vehicle of us going back into executive after we adjourn?
Oh, you just say you're going back, you're going to adjourn into executive session. Will you be coming back for action?
No.
Okay, then if you're just adjourning into executive session, we kick the riffraff out and wait.
Well, gee,
All right. Before we do that, anybody else public comment? All right, seeing none. Announcements, what's the next council meeting? May?
know.
Does anybody know?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm surprised she doesn't have it there. 15th.
7 and 5, 12.
Well, okay, next council meeting is here at 6:30 p.m., May 12th. I am looking for a motion to adjourn into executive session.
Motion.
Second.
We got
Rox, I'm assuming you wrote this note, I'm leaving mine right here on the table.
Oh, you mean about,
that was Denise.
that Denise, is it in purple?
Yes.
That's Denise.
They're right here.
Okay, I'll get it then.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, so moved.
Turn on.
Yeah, let me, give me a minute to turn off microphones and the, we'll back to the table.
How you turn these back? Hello? Hello?
Hold the button in, so it goes.
Oh, okay.